Hi everyone, welcome back to Mr. Justin. In this video, we're going to read an article about Las Fallas, the festival in Valencia. It's actually very topical because it's happening right now. Today is the 18th of March. Apparently this article was released today. I think this is a website for news in Spain in English. And yeah, I'm in Valencia right now, so if you hear explosions outside, it's due to the festival. A lot of people letting off crackers and there's well, we're going to read about it now. So my aim is to help you with English. So I'm going to read a paragraph at a time and then comment on any interesting words or phrases in the paragraph. So let's get started. The title is Everything You Need to Know About Valencia's Fallas Festival in March 2023 by Esme Fox from today, the 18th of March 2023. Here's a nice photo of one of the big monumentos. It says Valencia's Las Fallas is back in 2022. I guess last year they're talking about. Okay, Valencia's highly anticipated Fiery Fallas Festival is back, with the main days held from March 15th to 19th. Here's everything you need to know about this year's event. It's an interesting word, fiery. I've never seen it written, so it looks strange to me, but I guess it's fiery because fire has the R and E the other way around. Interesting. So, yeah, March 15th to 19th. Okay, what is Valencia's Las Fallas festival? Las Fallas is Valencia's most important festival. The main festival is held in Valencia city, although there are smaller Fallas celebrations throughout the region. During this crazy fiery festival, huge elaborate papier-mâché sculptures called fallas are set up across the city. On the last night, they are ceremoniously burned during the Nit de la Crema, during a crazy fiery display. In the days leading up to the burning, there are numerous firework displays, parades, and cultural events, which are all worth visiting. Papier-mâché is a bit interesting because I know for a fact that they're not just papier-mâché, they're massive. So if they were made of papier-mâché, they wouldn't stand up, basically. They'd get blown over. So they have like maybe it'll say later in the article, but they have a wooden skeleton and then they're mainly made out of cork. I guess papier-mâché would be the outer layer, maybe. But even then, there's different layers upon layers. Okay. It is thought that the tradition was started by the city's carpenters, who would celebrate the arrival of spring by burning the pieces of wood that held up their lights during winter. Gradually, they began adding other scraps of wood and rags to the bonfires so that they somewhat resembled human figures, animals, or other characters. Interesting. Held up their lights. I'm assuming because in winter there was less sunlight, so they had to have lights in their workshops or job sites. Rags are bits of cloth that are no longer used for clothes, but for work-related things, so they get dirty. In the kitchen you can have rags. This has evolved so much so that today the fallas can represent anything from satirical scenes featuring Spanish politicians to scenes from popular stories and legends. Prizes are awarded for the best ones. Yeah, very true. Here's a photo from, I'm not sure, probably last year, maybe this year, maybe a different year, doesn't say in the caption. When is it held? Las Fallas is held throughout March, with the last few days from March 15th to the 19th being the most important. The night of March 18th is also an important time during the festival, when the Nit del Foc, Night of Fire, takes place with huge firework displays. The festival culminates on March 19th, when all the fallas are burned all together across the city. I think this technically should be plural, huge fireworks displays. Huge firework displays. To me it sounds more natural plural. If you plan on visiting this year, arrive a day or two earlier so that you can go around and marvel at all the fallas before they're destroyed. Very good advice. What can I expect to see? Besides the fallas themselves, one of the most important events to watch is when groups of falleros dressed in traditional costume parade through the streets to offer flowers to a giant statue of La Virgen, Our Lady of the Forsaken, in front of the cathedral. Each bunch of flowers is added to her dress until her costume is entirely made up of fresh flowers. Okay. The Mascleta is another event that shouldn't be missed, taking place at 2 p.m. during each day of the festival. That's a mistake, I'm pretty sure. No, 2 p.m., yeah. Sorry, got confused. It's a deafening display of hundreds of firecrackers which almost seems to shake the city. Be aware, it's more about the noise and the atmosphere than being able to see them, as there are typically large crowds and they don't produce colors, only white smoke. That's funny actually, because the only one I saw this year was the colors of the Ukrainian flag, yellow and blue, at least at some point during the display. Firecrackers, yeah, I guess that's the right word. When we think of firecrackers in English, they're usually smallish, but these are massive cannon level, the same level of noise as a cannon. Some of them are deafening. I think the people who stand very close would probably get some sort of hearing damage, maybe even permanent to a small degree, because yeah. Falleros during Valencia's fallas, las fallas, okay. So falleros, the people who dress up. Where else? I'm not sure if this is easy to see on the video, but it says, where else can I see Las Fallas festivals? There are several other Fallas celebrations held across the Valencia region. Las Fallas events will also be taking towns of Denia, Alcira, Burriana, Benidorm, and Xàtiva around the same dates, from March 15th to the 19th. Top tips. Don't expect to get much sleep if you visit Valencia during Las Fallas, as loud firecrackers and fireworks are let off at any time of the day or night. This is very common misconception, I guess, because I've been sleeping perfectly and I live very close to the center of Valencia. I think there is a law, so they're technically not meant to go past, I think it's midnight on some days and 2 a.m. on other nights. But yeah, maybe it's because my bedroom's internal, so my window is internal of the big building. So maybe I don't get the sound direct from the crackers outside, firecrackers, but it's not too bad. Maybe tonight will be worse. When you've seen as many fallas as possible, choose your favorite to watch being burned, as all of them are set alight at the same time. This year, the burning of the children's fallas will take place at 8 p.m. on March 19th, followed by the burning of the larger fallas at 10 p.m. The winning falla will then be burnt at 10:30 p.m. and the large falla in front of the town hall, Ayuntamiento, at 11 p.m. To avoid crowds, access to this square may be restricted, so arrive early if you plan on watching this one. I remember last year it was raining nearly every single day of fallas, maybe even during the burning. I remember using an umbrella, maybe not all the time, but yeah, interesting mix of the rain and then all the burning. Make sure you try some of the traditional foods associated with Las Fallas. These include buñuelos de calabaza, dipped in hot chocolate churros, pumpkin fritters. While in Valencia, you should also sample some horchata, a sweet milk-like drink made from tiger nuts. It's difficult to park during Las Fallas and your car may get damaged, so we recommend taking public transport instead. Okay, I can't comment on that. Maybe from vandals or the actual crackers, not too sure. And they are public transport. The metro and some buses are 24/7 during the festival, so that's pretty cool. To learn more about Las Fallas while you're there, visit the Museo Fallero. Another cool picture, giant falla sculpture in Valencia. Words you need to learn when visiting Las Fallas. Fallero, fallera. Falleros are the people who make the falla sculptures. During the festival, they will dress up in traditional Valencian costumes made from Valencian silk and lace. So I'm not sure if that's technically accurate because not everyone helps with the sculpture. There's mainly one person who's in charge of it, and they do a lot of it on their own or with a few helpers, from what I gather. So I don't know. Maybe it's true, and they all help at on different days for a few hours here and there. But the main work is done by a select few people. Falleras are the females who make the falla sculptures. Each year, one fallera is chosen to represent each group of falleros. It is she who is in charge of lighting her group's falla when the time comes. There is also a fallera mayor and a fallera mayor infantil, an older girl and a younger girl who are chosen for the whole city. They act like the festival queen and princess. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool that they get to light it. Ninots. Ninots are the individual character sculptures within the each falla. This that is shouldn't be here, should be within each falla. There can be up to around 10 in each big scene. Each year, the locals vote for their favorite ninot, which will be saved from the flames. This ninot is called the ninot indultat, and rather than being burnt along with the rest of its falla, will be preserved in the Fallero Museum. Ninot at Valencia's Las Fallas festival. Mascleta. The mascleta is the huge firecracker display which takes place at 2 p.m. every day during the festival. Ofrenda. The offering of the flowers to the Virgin by the groups of falleros in traditional costumes. Crema. Crema means burning, and the Nit de la Crema, or Night of the Burning, takes place on the last day of the festival. And that looks to be all. So I hope that was interesting for Spanish speakers. I'm assuming it would be interesting learning or reading about the festival in English because I'm sure you know a lot of this already in Spanish. And yeah, I'll probably head out soon and go have a look, maybe meet up with some friends. But it is very, what's the word? Draining, physically and mentally draining to be among so many people because there's just a lot of people. I'm not sure how many. Valencia's population is maybe 1 million for the main city and surroundings, but probably doubles during this festival. It's a lot of people. I'll just leave it at that. Hope this was interesting, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions with particular words or phrases, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.